Hello everyone, this is Kaushik and welcome to the D Club. And today's video is all about another interesting SQL problem, and this is about handling date time and time mathematics in SQL. So, without wasting any time, let's get into the business. So, imagine you are a fantastic SQL developer and you are hired by a company who wants to keep track of their user activity. So they have a very famous website where a lot of users get into their open their website, find the orders and click the orders and like typical retail stuff. So they have asked you to prepare a report to find out user activity, and what they are asking, they're asking that activity of each user every day, how long they have spent on the website. Okay. uh, and they have given you a table called user session, and they have also provided you some dummy data. So don't worry about this table and dummy data. They are in GitHub, and I'm going to share the link of the repo in the video description. So for now, just focus on the question and focus on the solution. Always remember that um, a, a problem can have multiple solutions. So always, if you are in an interview and you got this question and you find out that okay, there might be another way to solve it, so don't think twice. Okay, use your own way, right? Um, but the matter of the fact is, every time an interviewer always try to see that the interviewee or the candidate, what type of optimal solution he or she has come up with, right? So we are going to create this table called user station, and we are going to insert some dummy data into it. So now let's check how our dummy data looks like. Select star from user session. Okay, so first of all, the question says that I have to find out how long users spent on the website each day, right? So from this question, there are two things clear. One, there are two columns which I need for group by. One is a date, right? Every day. I mean, every day means not every day, like the log date, right? And second is the user ID or the customer ID, right? Now, if we look at the session time, then it's a date time, right? It's not going to help us. If I put session time in a group by clause, it's not going to help us, right? Because it's kind of it for because in a single day there are multiple timestamp possible, right? So what are you gonna do? First of all, we're going to create a CTE. Now, why CTE? Um, Please check out my other video on the capitalize first later, right? And there I have explained why CTE and all that. So with CTE as not materialized, because I don't want my database server to be, hogged up with multiple with more memory of this user session table and all that. So remember, use as not materialized whenever possible, whenever you are using CTE. Okay, select. I'm going to use from user session. Okay, let's and I'm going to need customer ID, because this column is going to be used for grouping, right? And I'm going to use date of session underscore time. Let's call it session date. Okay, session date. Now let's look at the data. Okay, now it looks like this. Okay. So we can use it for grouping. If you see, this is a single group, right? When we minus a timestamp, it looks more of a groupable thing. Now here's the thing. Whenever there is a comparison, like a row-wise comparison, or if you have a sense that you have to compare a value with the next row or with the previous row, think about lead or lag. Okay, I although the most optimal way of doing it is using join, but in maybe in future when I will discuss about this lead lag versus join, and with more and more scenarios we'll get into more and more advanced stuff. Then I will show you some examples using which we can easily understand that why join is much more optimized, and why we should go for join if it is possible, unless, right? So, but in this case, we are going to use a lead, but if you are okay with that, you can use lag. By the way, I'm using PostgreSQL 16. If you are using any other database and you are facing any other problem with that, please do let me know in the comments. I'm happy to help. Now, have now the question is lead, right? So first we have to session time. Let's alias it as start time, right? Next, we are going to use lead of session time, um, session underscore time over partition by cust ID. And remember, I told earlier that we have two columns. We have to consider these two columns, cust ID and session date, as our as a grouping criteria. So same in the partition by clause, I have to mention that date of session time, and then order by session time, right? Now let's call it as end time. Okay. Now let's run this. Okay. Oh, okay. We're gonna need the state also. Okay. Sorry, I forget to mention about this column state. If you take a look at the script state, when the state is 1, that means the session start. When the state is 0, that means the session end, right? So if I put state here and run this SQL again, is going to show me yes, like this. Now let's interpret this record like the customer ID C001, start time is 7 o'clock in the morning and end time is 9:30 in the morning, 9:30 a.m. in the morning. Now if I look at the data, yes, 9:30 is definitely the end time, right? Now let's look at the record number 2. 9:30 a.m. in the morning start time and 12 o'clock end time. Is it correct? I don't think so, because 9:30 a.m. is the session end time. So this is a buggy record, right? So whenever there is a row-wise comparison or a row-wise comparison happening, then there is a possibility of buggy record coming up. So we need to filter those buggy record out. Now, how we are going to do it? We are going to do it using a where clause, where state equal to 1, right? Voila. So now we have state equal to 1 and session time, sorry, not user session, it should be CTE. It should be CTE, right? So state equal to 1, we have start time and we have end time. Now the next task remaining is find out the hours uh, the user spent. So it's gonna be customer ID is gonna be uh, um, end time minus start time, okay, and is gonna be session date, right? Now let's execute this. Okay, let's call it duration, right? Okay, Okay, so I can see it's 2 hour 30 minutes is 2 hour 30 minutes. There are two activities. So if I have to obviously I have to sum it up and it will be 5 hours. Okay, on 26th of November, C001 spent 5 hours on on the website, and on the 27th of November, the same user spent like 1 hour 30 minutes. Right now, since it's we are talking about hour, how about like we do extract um, hour from this, okay, and how about we create this up here. Let's name it as original duration. Okay, okay, okay. Now there is some strange thing happened, right? Original duration is showing 2 hours 30 minutes, but when I convert it to hour it's showing 2. So it's not going to work because we are losing some data. Like this 30 minutes is simply just gone, right? We have to take that 30 minute into the consideration, right? So we are going to use something called epoch. How's that? Let me show you. Extract, and it's going to be epoch from this, right? And we are going to uh, divided by 3600 epoch duration. Okay, let's check. Yep, it's showing 2.5 because see, we might say that it's 2 hour 35 minutes, but 2.5 hours, so we can say it like that 2.5 hours, right? So that's why epoch duration. And we are going to consider epoch duration. Remember this thing always, guys, like whenever there is some extraction from date calculation happen, use epoch, not don't use hour, or if or you are using hour, then make sure you are also calculating the minutes and seconds as well separately. You have to do that separately, right? So we have find out the epoch duration. Now I have to remove this, and we have to do now we have to do some sum, right? Then of course let's do the sum, and let's call it duration. Now here we are doing sum, so we have to do some grouping, group by cast ID, comma, session date. Yep, now we are able to see the output. Now, see, in some cases it might be a little bit of more messy, little bit of more numbers after the point, so after the decimal. So in that case, all you need to do just a round. Without round it will work. With round it will also work. That's up depends upon the question, how the question or what type of value the question demands. Anyway, I hope you guys have liked the video, and if you do, please don't forget to do the like, share, and subscribe. It will encourage me a lot. And I'm going to start a new YouTube playlist on D Club for PySpark, Pandas, Arrow, Hoodie, and Kafka, and all those stuff. So stay tuned. It's going to be interesting. Thank you. Bye bye.